That year was a total disaster. Aiden, a male fox shifter, was bound to a progenitor system. He became pregnant with the child of a stoic warden. Then he cowardly ran away. He was being hunted again. It was completely unreasonable. He only stole a few insignificant berries, but they sent a pack of enforcers after him. They chased him across the entire continent. He was a century-old shifter, after all. They would not catch him so easily. Spark screamed inside his mind. It detected a faint spatial fluctuation nearby. He was urged to hide there immediately. Aiden felt a headache coming on. Spark called itself a progenitor system. Its goal was to help him capture superior genes. It wanted him to birth the perfect offspring. Aiden reminded himself that he was male. The entire concept was utterly insane, but he had no time to argue. He lunged towards the spot Spark indicated. He plunged into what looked like a normal cliff face. His vision blurred for a moment. A piercing cold instantly enveloped him. He shivered, finding himself in a vast, frozen cavern. The pool was surrounded by ancient, unmelting ice. The air thrummed with a powerful, oppressive energy. His instincts told him this place was dangerous. Suddenly, Spark let out a cheer. It had detected an ultra-rare SSS plus grade genetic source. The compatibility was nearly 100%. The progenitor program was activating by force. Aiden panicked at the system's words. He wondered what it could possibly mean. It sounded so serious. He questioned if it could really make him pregnant. Just then, the powerful presence drew near. The air fluctuated between freezing and scalding. Aiden's head buzzed loudly. An indescribable heat erupted from within his body. His consciousness began to fade. His body was no longer under his control. He did not know how much time had passed. His chaotic thoughts gradually cleared. He found himself lying on a massive quartz slab. He was completely unclothed. A dull ache throbbed in a private place. Next to him lay another man, also unclothed. Aiden's gaze uncontrollably drifted downwards. He was shocked by what he saw. His heart leaped into his throat. He quickly turned his head away. Then he slowly looked at the man's face. The face was close to his own. It was cold, handsome, with sharp features. A sharp, sword-like mark was on his brow. This face was famous throughout their hidden world. It was Caleb, the warden of the Stillness Path. He was the youngest elder of the Mountain Sanctum. At only 200 years old, he had mastered his core. He achieved the highest rank of warden. Aiden's heart nearly jumped out of his chest. This was a catastrophe. He had somehow slept with the legendary killing machine. Caleb was known for his absolute lack of emotion. The warden's path was one of serenity and detachment. Rumors said anyone who tainted his path was annihilated. Their soul would be utterly destroyed by his blade. Aiden was certain the warden would kill him. He scrambled to his feet on shaky hands and knees. His legs gave out immediately. He fell uncontrollably onto the man's body. Aiden bit his tongue in pain. He frantically pushed himself up. It was a very close call. He had almost landed on that icy face. Spark chose this moment to cheer loudly. It congratulated its host on the successful capture. His progenitor value was at 100. Spark added that he was having twins. Aiden told the system to be quiet. He was facing a life-or-death situation. Spark's voice was incredibly grating. It urged its host not to run from this opportunity. Aiden told it to shut up. If he didn't escape, they would both be finished. He needed the system to understand their shared fate. He used every skill he had ever learned. He sprinted desperately out of the frozen cavern. He vowed to never see that place again. He had escaped, but a deep unease settled in his heart. A dozen days later, he understood why. The system's talk about twins had been real. He was pregnant, with 2 babies. He felt faint, wanting to disappear. He asked if all progenitor systems were like this. Spark completely missed his resentment. His tone was full of immense pride. It boasted about its incredible power. It claimed it could even make a stone bear children. Spark also mentioned its powerful fetal protection. The babies would be safe as long as the host lived. The world spun around Aiden. He found a small town of ordinary humans to hide in. He pretended to be a normal person. He agonized over what to do about the children. One day, the town erupted in commotion. There was talk of void beasts causing trouble outside. He squeezed through the crowd to the town wall. He saw a figure in white hovering in the air. The figure casually swung an energy blade. The once arrogant void beasts turned to dust. The display of power was breathtaking. The man's face was even more striking. Aiden realized it was Caleb. His mind went completely blank. He almost collapsed to his knees right there. Why would such a powerful warden come down the mountain? It made no sense at all. He decided to use the crowd as cover. He had only taken 2 steps when he felt a stare. It was a gaze so intense it felt physical. His heart pounded in his chest. Every hair on his body stood on end. He prayed that Caleb had not recognized him. But in his panic, his feet tangled together. He fell flat on his face. The warm bag of roasted almonds he just bought scattered. In the next second, a cold presence loomed over him. It was you. The 2 words lacked any context. But Aiden knew exactly what Caleb meant. It was over for him. Completely and utterly over. His fox form was not dead. But his master had brought someone back. It was a fox shifter. Death might have been a better fate. This was unbelievably embarrassing. From sheer terror, his fox ears and tail appeared. He could not make them go away. A century of dignity was gone in an instant. He silently wept over his foolish berry theft. The acolytes wondered what the shifter had done. To be captured by their master personally. They whispered that the shifter was very handsome. But they were warned not to gossip about their master. Aiden's face was a mask of despair. Spark, however, was as happy as could be. It told Aiden to seize the opportunity. It insisted Caleb was a top-tier partner. Aiden was not grateful for the advice. He just wanted to stay alive. He followed Caleb silently. They arrived at an unknown destination. When Caleb stopped, Aiden huddled in a corner. At this point, his fear had mostly subsided. Technically, he was the wronged party. Of course, he would never dare say that aloud. Caleb let out a soft sigh. He chose his words carefully. He told Aiden not to be afraid. He was only trying to. Suddenly, Caleb's expression changed. A wave of cold energy radiated from him. The room's temperature dropped sharply. His brow furrowed in concentration. He seemed to be enduring great pain. Strangely, the odd heat from the cavern returned. Aiden found himself pinned against a wall by Caleb. He saw that Caleb's eyes were no longer clear. He felt the same strange haze overcoming him. Caleb's pale, thin lips looked very inviting. When he woke again, he was naked. He and Caleb were intimately connected. His tail was wrapped possessively around Caleb's waist. He cursed his own weakness for beauty. He gritted his teeth and tried to inch away. Just then, Caleb woke up. The warden seemed startled. He instantly moved away. Aiden heard himself make an indescribable sound. For a moment, they were both utterly flustered. Ultimately, Caleb hastily dressed and left. Aiden let out a long breath. He curled up on the bed, dying of shame. This was a complete nightmare. They had barely spoken, yet they knew each other so thoroughly. What kind of cruel fate was this? He forced himself to stop thinking. He dressed and slowly walked outside. A blade was suddenly held at his throat. He cried out in terror. He begged for his life. The blade trembled slightly. Its owner then gripped the blade itself. He pushed the handle into Aiden's hands. Caleb apologized for his transgression. He said Aiden could do as he wished. Aiden was momentarily stunned. This warden was surprisingly reasonable. But he would not kill him. The entire world would hunt him down if he did. His own life was more important. Besides, the experience wasn't entirely unpleasant. He lowered the blade. He gave a dramatic cough. He declared himself magnanimous. He said they could forget the incident. He quickly tried to leave. Caleb called for him to wait. Aiden ended up staying at the sanctum. He was not entirely willing. Caleb had a problem with his training. A frost curse had invaded his body. By a strange coincidence, Aiden's arrival helped. After their encounters, the curse seemed to recede. Aiden was surprised. He had assumed it was some kind of aphrodisiac. He never felt cold. Caleb could not explain their strange connection. But the matter needed to be investigated. So Aiden reluctantly agreed to stay. He figured things could not get any worse. Spark was screaming constantly, called this a match made in heaven, questioned why it was bound to Aiden. It marveled at the timing of Caleb's curse. It saw their reunion as the work of destiny. The system was definitely going crazy. Aiden lived on a peak called Silvermoon Crest. Caleb said it was very quiet. Aiden thought that was not quite true. The sanctum's acolytes had heard rumors. They would sneak by to catch a glimpse. Their eyes were filled with a hunger for gossip. They wondered why their master hid someone there. They questioned if they were lovers. They commented on Aiden's good looks. Some wished for a shifter partner of their own. But their master followed the path of stillness. They worried he would be a heartbreaker. One schemed to comfort the sad fox shifter. Another hushed him, fearing their master would hear. Caleb's cold voice asked what would be so bad. The acolytes' faces went pale. They quickly made excuses to leave. One claimed his homework needed checking. Another had to practice his blade work. A third insisted his vegetable patch needed tending. The excuses were all flimsy, but Caleb simply nodded. Aiden had noticed this over the last few days. Caleb had a cold aura but was easy to be around. There was one exception. In bed, he became surprisingly fierce. The third onset of the frost curse was milder, so Aiden's mind remained much clearer. However, Caleb's restrained expression was tempting. Fox shifters were not known for their restraint, so Aiden took the initiative. He licked Caleb's lips. The situation quickly escalated beyond his control. He ended up crying again. Spark, that shameless system, shouted in his mind, told him to relax and breathe. It advised Caleb to adjust his angle for better ergonomics. Aiden couldn't take it anymore. He asked Caleb to slow down, but a wave of nausea hit him. He threw up right in front of the warden. Instantly, Caleb's expression looked incredibly hurt. He seemed to question his own abilities. Aiden explained it wasn't him. It was the pregnancy. Caleb's fingertips trembled slightly. His eternally calm face showed a rush of emotions. There was shock, doubt, and disbelief. There was also something Aiden couldn't read. He reached for Aiden's wrist. The longer he checked, the tighter his brow furrowed. Finally, he hesitantly asked a question. He wondered if Aiden was secretly a girl. His eyes flickered downwards, full of self-doubt. Aiden shouted that he was male. As for the pregnancy, he could not take it anymore. He blurted out the entire story about Spark. Caleb's face was a picture of astonishment. He didn't know if Caleb believed him, or if he just thought Aiden was insane. Aiden called for Spark. He asked it to speak to Caleb. Spark was excited to do so. It just needed Caleb to not resist. Caleb was always highly guarded. Took a while for Spark to connect. It introduced itself cheerfully to the warden. Proudly announced its role in the pregnancy. It also revealed they were having twins. Caleb fell silent. The room was frighteningly quiet. He just stared at Aiden's stomach. He probably wanted to punch the meddling system too. His face was flushed with conflicting emotions. Since learning of the pregnancy, Caleb had changed. He had long given up eating regular food. But Aiden still needed to eat. The sanctum's enchanted food was plentiful, but the taste was rather bland. Aiden had intense cravings, specifically for human junk food like chili cheese fries. He felt he would die without some. Before he could sneak out, Caleb found him. The warden asked where he was going. Aiden pouted, feeling a bit emotional. He snapped that he wasn't a prisoner. He didn't need to report his every move. Caleb was taken aback. A rare flicker of panic crossed his calm eyes. He clarified that was not his intention. He offered to run any errands for Aiden. Aiden's eyes lit up. He grabbed Caleb's arm. He told him about a food stand downtown. Caleb listened intently. When Aiden finished, he said he would be back. Aiden happily returned to his room. He thought having someone to order around was great. Half an hour later, Caleb returned. He brought back many things. Besides the requested item, there were other snacks. Caleb cleared his throat. He looked at the wall and mumbled. He said people told him pregnant individuals liked these. He told Aiden to try them. Then he vanished in a flash. Aiden didn't think much of it. He ate until he was full. He felt covered in the smell of food. He went to soak in the hot springs. This place was wonderful. The spring floor had warming jade stones. The walls were embedded with cleansing crystals. A soak made him feel like he could live for centuries. Then Caleb arrived. Aiden was surprised to see him. The warden usually preferred cold pools. Caleb seemed about to leave upon seeing him. Aiden knew he disliked sharing spaces. But Aiden was in a good mood. He wanted to talk. So he told Caleb not to go. Caleb silently moved to a farther corner. Aiden ignored him and started talking. He asked if Caleb had figured out the frost curse. Caleb nodded. He explained his habit of training in extreme cold. The frost from ancient ice was hard to dispel. It accumulated in his body over time. Eventually, it erupted violently. Aiden understood why he was in the hot spring. He then asked about their own situation. Caleb turned his head stiffly. He looked towards the distant mountains. His voice became soft and gentle. He said he found a solution in an ancient text. The most effective way to break the curse. It was to dual cultivate with a body of pure fire. Aiden was a firefox shifter. His energy was the ultimate form of yang. Today, Aiden discovered a secret. He asked Spark if Caleb was favored by fate. The moment the curse acted up, Aiden appeared. His luck was simply too good. Spark had a different perspective. It saw a powerful patron for its host. It urged Aiden to hold on to the warden. An easy life awaited him. Becoming a great shifter was within reach. Aiden liked the sound of that. He imagined having 9 tails. He decided to get closer to Caleb. 3 months passed in a flash. Aiden was napping in the courtyard. He felt a strange sensation in his belly. Felt like tiny fish blowing bubbles. He panicked immediately. He thought there were carp demons inside him. He instinctively ran to find Caleb. Caleb was engrossed in a book. Aiden grabbed his hand and placed it on his belly. He asked Caleb what to do. He was sure there were monsters inside him. He imagined them bursting out of his stomach. It was a bloody and terrifying image. Caleb threw the book aside. He looked even more panicked than Aiden. He asked what was wrong. Aiden said there were fish blowing bubbles inside him. Caleb asked if he felt anything else. Aiden concentrated for a moment, then shook his head. Caleb let out a breath of relief. His expression became incredibly gentle. He reassured Aiden that it was normal. Aiden was confused. His gaze fell on the book Caleb had dropped. The title was A Comprehensive Guide to Vulpine Birth. He quickly excused himself and left. After a few steps, he stopped. Caleb's hand was still held by him. It rested against his slightly swollen abdomen. The spot where he touched suddenly felt very hot. Aiden snatched his hand back. He stormed off in a huff. He furiously screamed at Spark in his mind. He asked why the system didn't know basic facts. Spark replied innocently that he had never asked. Aiden accused it of using twisted logic. He pointed out that it hadn't asked him for consent. An explosive rumor hit the sanctum. Their master was apparently having a child. The acolytes were in disbelief. The rumor concerned Master Caleb. During Aiden's 4th month, Silvermoon Crest became lively. The visitors always lurked in corners. They dared not approach openly. They debated how a male fox could be pregnant. They wondered if the beautiful shifter would get fat. One had overheard their master speaking to his own teacher. He asked about herbs suitable for pregnancy. He was certain he heard it correctly. They marveled at their master's power. One saw Aiden approaching and gave a. Aiden shot a small burst of fire. 5 people jumped out of the bushes. He asked them what they were discussing. They started a regular tea party on Silvermoon Crest. The acolytes were incredibly chatty. Caleb probably wouldn't say as much in 3 centuries. Aiden had been bored and lonely. He happily chattered with them. They asked how he and their master had met. Aiden thought for a moment. He answered that it was a chance encounter. They asked who confessed their feelings first. Aiden said that nobody had. They concluded it must be love born from proximity. Aiden denied being in that kind of relationship. The 5 acolytes were stunned. They looked at him with serious expressions. They told Aiden this was unacceptable. He was already pregnant. Their master hadn't even confirmed their relationship. They found it completely unreasonable. They said only a scoundrel would do such a thing. They couldn't believe their master was like that. Aiden was a bit confused. He stammered that Caleb was not that kind of person. He insisted Caleb was very good to him. The acolytes gasped in unison. Their eyes showed deep sympathy. They told Aiden he had been blinded by love. He tried to explain it was all an accident. They told him not to say another word. They looked at him with sincere concern. They solemnly promised to help him. If he ever wanted to leave, he should tell them. They would help him even against their master. The acolytes left with heavy sighs. Aiden asked Spark what that was about. Spark said it didn't know, but it thought they seemed like nice people. Aiden decided to hang out with them again when bored. Caleb was branded a heartbreaker. Aiden squeaked in alarm. He timidly asked Spark if this rumor was his fault. The system confirmed that it likely was. Perhaps his guilt was obvious. Caleb noticed something was wrong. He asked if Aiden felt unwell. Aiden said he was fine. Caleb then asked if he had been all right lately. He kept his head down. He missed the complex emotions in Caleb's eyes. Caleb told him not to worry. He said the others didn't know the truth. He asked Aiden not to think about their words. He asked what they had said. Aiden realized Caleb hadn't known about the rumor. But now he did. Then Caleb actually smiled. He said they were talking about him. He wondered why Aiden was so nervous. Aiden did not understand. He couldn't see why Caleb was so calm. He felt it was all his fault. Caleb was so powerful and respected. Being misunderstood like this was unfair. Caleb chuckled softly. He naturally reached up and ruffled Aiden's hair. He said it did not matter. Aiden's body tingled. His fox ears and tail popped out again. As a century-old shifter, he had good control. But ever since meeting Caleb, he kept losing it. Clearly, Caleb was the problem. By the 5th month, his belly was quite noticeable. He tired easily after moving around. He rested his hands on his waist, panting. He remembered his father's stories. His mother could still climb trees at 8 months pregnant. He was deeply impressed by her. Caleb appeared from nowhere. A gentle stream of energy supported his lower back. His body instantly felt lighter. He unconsciously leaned into Caleb's embrace. He let out a sigh of comfort. Caleb's body tensed, but he didn't move away. That night, the wind was a bit cool. Aiden had slept a lot during the day. He couldn't sleep now, so he sat in the courtyard watching the stars. Caleb draped a cloak over him. The warden's unique, cool scent wafted over. For some reason, his heart felt a flutter. It was like tiny kittens were pawing inside him. It wasn't painful, just incredibly ticklish. It was almost unbearable. He grabbed Caleb's sleeve, wanting to speak, but his mind went completely blank. Suddenly, his belly moved. He gasped in surprise. He told Caleb the baby had kicked him. Spark had told him about this. It was called fetal movement and was not dangerous. Caleb gently placed a hand on his belly. Then the baby moved again. He looked at Aiden in joyful surprise. His usually calm eyes were sparkling. He said he felt it. On impulse, Aiden kissed him. He even pushed Caleb down. He had wicked intentions. Lately, being near Caleb made him feel strange. Today, he finally understood why. He was sexually frustrated. But at the last moment, Caleb stopped. He would not give in. Even after Spark said it was safe, he still refused. Aiden burst into tears of frustration. He started a cold war with Caleb. He had been so forward. Yet Caleb had rejected him. He used his hands and mouth, but Aiden was unsatisfied. So he decided to be angry. He complained about Caleb with the acolytes. He felt much better afterward. Someone told him the third elder was back. The elder hadn't been to the sanctum in 2 years. They advised Aiden to stay hidden for a while. The third elder despised non-humans. Aiden suddenly remembered something Caleb told him. Before Caleb was an elder, his uncle was tricked. A bird-like shifter had stolen his eyes. After that, his uncle changed. Caleb had promised to protect him. To be safe, Aiden stayed on Silvermoon Crest. Caleb also warned him to lay low. The elder wouldn't stay long, so Aiden just needed to be patient. To keep him from being bored, Caleb bought him books. Spark joked that he was already on maternity leave. One day, Caleb's frost curse erupted without. A terrifying cold flooded out of him. The room instantly became an ice cavern. Caleb's face was pale. His body trembled uncontrollably. Aiden had never seen him look so vulnerable. His heart twisted into a knot. His mind, however, was clearer than ever. He had to save him. If the curse continued, his meridians would be damaged. Caleb was a genius. The thought of such a thing happening was unbearable. Aiden summoned his own energy to resist the cold. He slowly approached Caleb. He carefully pulled him into an embrace. It was so cold. Even with his fire, he felt like he was freezing. He wondered what he should do. How could he make him feel better? Spark reminded him to transfer some essence to Caleb. He had just parted Caleb's lips, when Caleb's tongue eagerly tangled with his. As time passed, the babies in his belly grew restless. They were agitated by the intense cold. His own energy began to surge uncontrollably. He tried his best to suppress it. His hands gripped Caleb tightly. He heard voices outside. Before he could react, someone burst in. His clothes were in disarray. Caleb was not in his right mind. The scene was scandalous. Several elders stared, dumbfounded. One of them, a man with his eyes covered, roared. Aiden guessed this was the third elder. A master cultivator can see without eyes. The third elder wasted no time. He sent a powerful palm strike toward Aiden. In that moment, Aiden understood the gap in power. He would never again boast about being a great shifter. In the shifter world, he was just a cub. This elder was over 600 years old. It was unfair bullying. He clutched the protective talisman his mother gave him. As he was about to activate it, he was pulled back. Someone shielded him with their own body. He heard a pained grunt. He turned to see blood at the corner of Caleb's mouth. He completely panicked. Caleb had taken the full force of the blow. Aiden asked if he was okay. He said he could have handled it. He told Caleb not to be reckless. Caleb squeezed his trembling hand. He said it was nothing. He had promised no one would hurt him. The third elder recovered from his shock. He lowered his hand, his face a grim mask. It was a mixture of guilt and anger. He ordered Caleb to move aside. He told him not to be so foolish. Caleb stood up. He firmly shielded Aiden behind him. He addressed the elder as Uncle Julian. He said Aiden was not an evil being. He asked his uncle not to be so stubborn. The third elder sighed but did not yield. He said a man giving birth was a ridiculous notion. He was sure Caleb was bewitched by shifter magic. The other elders also tried to persuade him. They said they didn't want to interfere in his private life. But the timing of the frost curse was too coincidental. Aiden felt incredibly wronged. As he stood up, Caleb raised his blade. He apologized to the elders. With one swing, a storm erupted. This was the power of a warden's core. It transcended normal power levels. But Caleb had no killing intent. The strike was a display of his resolve. The third elder was still unwilling to back down. He asked Caleb if he knew what he was doing. Caleb's gaze was unwavering. He told his uncle to see himself out. The elders left in a huff. The next moment, Caleb collapsed. Aiden cried again. He cried harder than ever before. He hadn't cried this hard since he was 10. That was when his pet pig was eaten by his uncle. His voice trembled as he wiped his tears. The tears just kept falling. He asked Spark why Caleb wasn't waking up. Spark let out a dramatic howl. It told Aiden that everything depended on him now. Aiden perked up his ears. He asked what he needed to do. The system prescribed the dual cultivation technique. If once didn't work, try twice. Claimed nothing couldn't be solved with 3 sessions. Aiden was furious. He asked if it wanted him to drug an unconscious man. Spark spoke in a mysterious tone. Promise Caleb would wake up. Aiden felt like the most miserable fox in the world. Caleb was so infuriating. If he had just agreed last time, this wouldn't have happened. He was supposed to be a genius, but he was a fool. Aiden gritted his teeth and got to work. He was stopped when a cool finger wiped his tears. The world fell silent. Caleb's eyes clearly reflected Aiden's image. Aiden asked why he took so long to wake up. His voice quivered at the end. He tried to smile, not wanting to seem weak. He was not a fragile fox. Caleb pulled him against his chest and soothed him. He said he was fine now. He told him not to cry. Aiden couldn't stop crying. Caleb's stamina was impressive. Thankfully, no drugs had been needed. The frost curse was suppressed. But Caleb's body hadn't fully recovered from the blow. Seeing him so weak, Aiden made a decision. He called for Spark. He asked for the third elder's location. He was going to pay him a visit. Spark was horrified. But at Aiden's insistence, it gave him the location. Aiden clutched his talisman for courage. He stepped into the third elder's courtyard. The man's sharp turn made him flinch. It was terrifying how imposing he was without eyes. The elder's tone was hostile. He demanded to know why the shifter dared to come here. He looked ready to attack at any moment. Aiden gave a nervous smile. He said he wasn't there to cause trouble. He explained Caleb's dire condition. He was suffering from both the curse and the injury. He reminded the elder how much Caleb respected him. He asked if he could bear to watch him suffer. He pleaded for some of his powerful medicines. The third elder's face remained blank. He called Aiden a silver-tongued shifter. Aiden racked his brain for what to do next. Then the elder spoke again. He said he wouldn't harm him because Caleb protected him. He ordered Aiden to leave and never return. At the same time, he tossed a pouch of pills. Aiden caught it and ran. After feeding Caleb the medicine, he made him rest. Caleb insisted on mating. Aiden had an idea and shifted into his fox form. He lay on Caleb's chest, pinning him to the bed. He was now the weight of 3 foxes. Caleb dared not move. He sighed with a smile. He softly thanked Aiden. Aiden grunted in response. He was enjoying being petted. He rolled over, exposing his belly. He told Caleb he could rub his stomach. He said it was very soft. He didn't let just anyone touch it. Caleb's hand rested on his belly. He gently rubbed it. Then he started laughing quietly. The vibration of his chest felt tingly. Aiden realized he was in love. He always said Caleb was not a heartbreaker. That day, he dozed off in Caleb's arms. When he woke, the sun was high. Strangely, Caleb was still lying with him. Aiden shifted back to human form in surprise. They both blushed furiously. When he was dressed and went to the outer room, more surprises waited. Caleb walked towards him with great seriousness. He asked Aiden to go somewhere with him. They went to Mirror Lake at the sanctum. The water was perfectly clear, so clear there were no fish in it. Aiden was curious why Caleb brought him here. Caleb explained the lake's origins. Its waters came from many places, some from glacial rivers in the far north, some from a small stream in the town below. A single lake had such a complex history. Caleb told him about the second sect leader. His partner was named Evelyn. She lived by the sea. Evelyn was a free spirit, but the sect leader could not abandon his duties. So wherever Evelyn traveled, she collected water. She brought it back for him. When they traveled together, they brought back more. Over the years, they filled an entire lake. Later, the leader retired. He and Evelyn traveled the world together. They eventually ascended to a higher plane. Thus, Mirror Lake became a sacred place. Couples who made vows here received their blessing. Aiden's heart pounded in his chest. He looked at Caleb and played dumb. He asked why Caleb brought him here. Caleb blushed. His expression was incredibly serious, but his deep eyes were like a raging fire. He asked if he could be Aiden's partner. Aiden's ears and tail popped out again, but this time he didn't care. He threw himself at Caleb. He kissed him fiercely. His tail wagged uncontrollably. He told Caleb he had wanted this for a long time. This was the first time they were together fully conscious. Afterward, Aiden remembered something important. He shot up and grabbed Caleb. He asked about his path of stillness. Caleb calmly nodded. Aiden demanded to know what that meant. He thought followers of that path renounced love. They were supposed to kill their partners to prove it. He was a young shifter with years left to live. Caleb couldn't stop laughing. He cleared his throat to respond. He said that was a twisted interpretation. Stillness was not heartlessness. It meant facing all beings without personal bias. Aiden asked if he wasn't a personal bias. Caleb answered that he was. Aiden was confused. He asked how Caleb could still follow his path. Caleb's lips curved into a sly smile. He asked if Aiden intended to be an enemy to all. Aiden quickly shook his head. Caleb said there was no problem then. Aiden still didn't get it. What if Caleb had to harm others for his sake? Caleb seriously tapped his head. He told Aiden not to forget he was one of all beings. And so was Caleb himself. Right and wrong were connected by karma's threads. Aiden finally gave birth. 2 furry, wrinkled fox kits. They were so ugly. They looked nothing like him. But that wasn't the point. He frantically asked Spark a question. Why could a male fox produce milk? Spark laughed and said it was normal. Nursing the kits was exhausting. Caleb personally cooked for him. He made him enchanted chicken soup. This was a man who didn't even eat. The kitchen probably exploded. The heroic warden emerged with a sooty face. He coolly asked a real chef to make the soup. A few days later, Aiden did get Caleb's own soup. Caleb was improving. The acolytes came to play with the kits. They were relieved their master was a good person. They declared him their idol. Aiden pointed out they had called him a heartbreaker. They were jealous of him. They asked if there were other beauties in his clan. Aiden huffed that he was one of a kind. They asked what their cold master was like intimately. They were extremely curious. Aiden subtly looked away, but his ears turned bright red. Finally, Caleb returned and chased the noisy group away. Aiden shifted into his fox form. He rolled around playfully in Caleb's lap. He whined that he missed him. Caleb buried his face in Aiden's belly fur. There seemed to be some suspicious moisture. Aiden realized and tried to run, but he was held down. The fox was in trouble. The fox was completely drained. The fox gave Caleb a scratch on the face. Caleb walked around with the scratch mark. He taught his classes as if nothing happened. Soon the whole sanctum knew. Aiden had scratched him, but for some reason, Aiden was the embarrassed one. He named the kits. This one was folly, that one was nuisance. Caleb told him to be serious. Ultimately, the kits were named Leo and Soul. His names were only nicknames. It was so unfair. They were bullying him for being uncultured. But he decided to be magnanimous. He suddenly remembered his parents. He hadn't told them about the babies. He sent them a magical message. His mother said he had lost his mind. His father agreed. He sent them a bit of Leo and Soul's fur. His mother said she had lost her mind. His father agreed. Aiden was satisfied. He happily went to train with Caleb. With Caleb's guidance, he felt a second tail growing. Becoming a great shifter was within reach. He found a new hobby during training: stealing kisses. The first time, Caleb froze completely. He blushed and asked what Aiden was doing. Aiden gave him a wicked smile. The novels were right. Ice-cold beauties were cutest when they were shy. But the novels didn't mention the price. He paid for it with a sore backside. Later, he got smarter. He would shift into his fox form. Caleb could do nothing about it then. Even later, Caleb got smarter too. He started giving Aiden baths. Only low-level spirit pets were washed by their masters. He was a despicable man. He even brought Leo and Soul to watch. He asked them if their daddy's fur was pretty. Leo and Soul just chewed on his robes. It was a very ordinary day. Spark said it had to leave. It had completed its matchmaking KPI. It was a huge performance bonus. It might return if it earned enough points. Aiden didn't understand the nonsense. Spark became a mote of light. It circled him once. Then it disappeared like a shooting star. Aiden dazedly waved at the sky. He muttered that he would punch it if they met again. When his second tail grew, his parents came. They were in the town below the sanctum. That night, Caleb got drunk. Leo and Sol were taken by his parents to be shown off. Aiden walked with Caleb in the moonlight. He had warned him about his father's wine. Even gods would get drunk from it. Caleb kissed him. He mumbled that he liked him. Aiden's eyes widened. He stammered that he would get another jug from his father. Caleb kissed him again. He said, "I like you,